Welcome back to another episode of Sports Talk with Krish. This is season 4, episode 3. I'm Krish Vermo alongside now a 3-star recruit at Spanish River High School in the process, potentially about to play college ball, and he's balled out so far to start this year. I'm alongside Blake Wallace. Blake, how are you doing?
I'm having a great day. How are you?
Man, I'm great, but I know you're having a great day because I know it's your birthday, man. So show my boy some love, all right?
I appreciate. Yeah, it's my birthday. It's been hectic, but it's been fun. I've had a good day for my 18th.
I know. Yeah, man, 18 is huge, dude. So have you had any special plans? Anything you've been trying to do?
Honestly, not really. I've been just focusing on football recently. Got a bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of gifts that I got to set up and stuff. But honestly, I have no plans. I'm just really cruising through. It's been just very chill.
I mean, sounds good. I know you're focusing on football a lot because I'm just looking from how you've already started this season compared to the last few. And I know you were talking about it right before we started, how you just want to finish strong this year, your senior year already. If you don't know Blake, well, Blake's already has 381 receiving yards to start this year, 15 receptions, 7 touchdowns. So, Blake, I first and foremost, before I even get to the questions, anything, if you want to introduce yourself, kind of say who you are and what you're kind of looking forward to, kind of show everybody what we can expect from Blake Wallace.
Well, I'm Blake Wallace. I play free safety and wide receiver at Spanish River, and honestly, I just want to ball out. I want to prove myself because a lot of people are saying I'm not legit and all my offers are not legit and stuff. I really just want to prove myself, show myself to the county everywhere who sees me that I am legitimate. I could compete with anyone. And my team, I want to make sure my team wins district titles for the first time ever in our school history. So that's the main goal. And then eventually after that, college ball, and we'll take it from there.
Step by step. I love the attitude already. So you're already talking about some of your goals that you have, winning a district. But to go on top of that for this season and beyond, if you could be a little bit more specific, what are it could be team goals, like you were saying, trying to go further and win these divisional championships and whatnot. But what are some goals that you kind of maybe have written down, maybe not, kind of just that's in your head, like this needs to happen, that you have right now that you want to use for this season and beyond?
Oh, I got you. So honestly, I want to just improve from last year. I had 1,000 yards, and I think it was 21 touchdowns last year. And my goals is to succeed that. I want to try and get 30 touchdowns, which would be revolutionary for a wide receiver. And I want to try and get 1,500 yards. And I feel like with that, everything else would be set in place, set in motion, and it'll help my team just continue above and beyond.
So, Blake, you played 3 years of varsity ball, at least I can see here from your time at Spanish River. Did you find football kind of maybe in middle school, maybe it was elementary, maybe a little early on? With that being said, when did you find football, and how has it impacted you so far?
Oh, well, I found football really, I played flag football. My mom was scared to put me in the tackle, you know how it be. But my freshman year is when I played for a rec league, and then my sophomore year was my first year playing a really good tackle football, really tackle football. So I found it pretty late compared to some others. But ever since my freshman year, I would say I was a pretty off kid. My grades was bad, everything, but it's taught me discipline and all that. Now I'm trying to be an AB honor student and get everything in place. It's really just taught me how to be disciplined, how to do stuff you don't want to do. We got morning workouts and those suck, but you do it anyway. And I feel like it really made me a more better overall human being, from all standpoints.
Right. And like you said, you got morning workouts and then you also got to focus on school. So just being a student athlete, can you take us into what the process may look like for you in a week prepping for games, and you still got exams and tests, assignments, everything you got to do from school wise, but also still playing out here so you can get to college football? What does that week look like, the grind look like that we don't get to see until we see you on the field?
All right, so that's a good question. It starts like with Monday. We're recovering from the weekend, and the Friday game, and then we start game planning, we start doing that. But with being an athlete, you got to do the student part. So it doesn't matter. The teachers at my school, they don't care if you're a student. They're going to treat everyone the same. So I still got tests. I still got to make all the work. I got homework, and all the same things that everyone else has, I have to do as well. And then with that, we have practices until 6 afterwards. So you just gotta grind it out, and you really gotta. Time management is key, essentially, and that's one thing that's I had to learn, especially my beginning of my path, my future and stuff. Like I've been having to manage my time, do my homework in class, and then so I don't have to take it home where I'm already tired from football practice and I'm just sleeping. So it's been hard to balance it all, but I think I finally got it down.
Well, honestly, that's one of the toughest things to do. At least from what I hear when I talk to players and guys about this grind, is it's not as easy as just going on the field and playing, as you just mentioned. I mean, it takes weeks of preparation. You still got off the field things to deal with, and just be a person yourself. So I find that great to hear how you've kind of learned from that over the last few years. And you were talking about discipline, big of how football has taught you to stay on top of this and that, and it's not just about going out there, because you've got a lot of responsibilities to take care of. And I appreciate you sharing that with us. But something else I was actually very curious about is you brought up how you play free safety as alongside as receivers. So I don't know how much more you play. I would assume maybe a little bit more receiver, but especially do you enjoy free safety more, receiver? Is it kind of both, or how do you feel about that?
Well, I play like anywhere I'm needed. I'll play. I play
Right.
kick return and all that stuff. But like when we're against like teams where it's like, hey, we need you out there. I would say I enjoy wide receiver more, definitely. But I'm not afraid of contact. In fact, I do love contact. I'm a very physical guy, and I like laying someone out every once in a while. It's a good switch up. So playing free safety, it's fun. Like I'd say it's definitely a lot more mind things, because when I play wide receiver, I catch the ball and like my mind, I don't think too much. But when you're at free safety, you really have to think. You got to see, oh, this guy's going here. This dude's doing a post. This one's going to go, and it's like, which one do you have to guard? That would say is a lot more like mind games, right? But with free safety, I just go out there and like I do my best to keep my coverage. But if someone's running downhill, I'll lay them out. That's why I like to play free safety. But I would definitely say I play wide receiver more. I'm more of a fan of it.
So more of a fan than receiver, but you kind of learn a lot more from free safety. But actually, on top of that, you look at kind of learning your playbooks or the route tree, knowing what you're doing on defense and stuff. Which position do you think is a little harder? You were saying you think a little less at receiver. So would you say free safety is harder, or do you think they're both like as difficult to play?
I'd say free safety definitely, because honestly, hitting someone hurts way more than getting hit. I don't know if people agree with that, but if you really hit someone, you're gonna feel that. And if you're getting hit, like I don't really feel it that much. But I'll definitely say free safety is definitely harder, because it's just so much you got to think about in such a fast pace of time. It's very quick, so it's really hard. It's hard, but I'd say free safety definitely.
Well, if you're locked in for a game and you know you got to play receiver, you got to play free safety and everything. I know that's probably a lot to take in. So I was curious, maybe it's game day. Maybe you have something set up. Like, do you have like maybe a certain pregame routine that you'd want to share?
Actually, yes. Honestly, it's been I started doing this year because last year big games definitely would mess me up. Like I'd get in my head and I would lose track and I'd mess up in really big time games where it mattered. So this year I got some headphones and I've really been just listening to music and meditating. And I'm not gonna lie, at first I thought it was kind of silly. I'm like, oh, that's probably not gonna do anything. But I'd really tried it and it's really revolutionized me, like keeping my pressure down. Like I kind of get like in a flow state, and it's just I move freely. It feels great. I'd say definitely meditation has helped me with those big games, and even like in tough corners, like when I just sit down, I sit down on that chair in the middle of the field and just breathe. I feel great. So I would say that would be a pregame ritual I do.
I like the meditation. I haven't heard a lot of that before. So you do meditation, you get your headphones, you kind of just relax, and that's how you get into game mode. But you're talking about music as well. Do you have a specific artist you go to, or a couple artists maybe?
Right. Actually, it's funny you say that. I got a very diverse playlist. I don't listen to like anyone specifically. Like I like music. I don't like artists. You feel me? Like if
Yeah, right.
I like the song. That song's in my playlist. So my playlist is very diverse. You'll get stuff from like Uzi, Tyler the Creator, stuff like that. But then you'll get like some just piano from shows I watch, but like mellowed out. You feel me? So it's like I have a very diverse playlist when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I mean, it's whatever works, right? And
Mhm.
well, clearly, if that works out for you, then that's awesome, man. I actually I've tried to get a little bit more diverse with music as well because you never want to be stuck under one genre. But yeah, that's actually. So you said you got some samples from like shows you watch and whatnot for some of it.
Yeah, yeah. So they're like even from like shows. I like listening to OSTs like background music
Right.
from animes I watch, and when there's like a scene where it's like really calm and collected, I take the song that's in the background and I put it on there, and it's like it really calms you down. It's really relaxing. So definitely that.
All right. That's actually a pretty good idea then. All right. We better keep watching those shows. I get you. I guess locked in.
Mhm.
I'll let you. So you're talking about flag football. That's where it all started for you. That's where you really got everything going. But to go flag football, middle, high, keep on going, and you've played all these games that have mattered to you. Some games that went your way, some that didn't. But one that did go your way, one that's actually stuck with you for a while. Do you have like a favorite moment so far from your football career?
Honest, yeah, definitely. Like I remember, I like my teammates. Like I love when we won as a team and as a collective. So there's games where we won. Even like the most recent one, like it wasn't a blowout. It wasn't like a team. It was like everybody on the team had to work together, and everyone at the team at the end when we finally came out with a victory, we just celebrated and we went to Duffy's. It was just a great time. So I'd say like big team wins, like definitely. I would say one of my favorites was John I. Leonard. John I. Leonard, we played them last year. I had 4 catches for 3 touchdowns and like 127 yards. And that one was more of a blowout. But like we lost to them the year before. Like our first year, we went 1-9. And then to go up and just completely improve and then beat the team that beat us last year, that was just such an experience that I will never forget. I'd say that one definitely.
Yeah, well, we look forward to seeing you do that more often then, man.
100%.
I'm excited to see it though. Well, you talk about that complete change, right? From with a year you went 1-9 to now taking down teams that have got you in the past. So, with that being said, that all comes from motivation, just getting better as a team, but especially with your coaches as well. Everyone just coming together as a team, getting better every single day, grinding it out. So, I gotta ask you, have you learned something? This could be maybe any coach middle high school as well. It's kind of similar to this question, but a piece of advice from coach that you still use to this day.
Oh, definitely. My coach Headley, he really set the standard for us. He took us from that 1-9 season. He was there when we were at our all-time low, and now that was my sophomore year. I'm in my senior year, and we're off to a great start. Last year we went 7-3, and like I take a lot of his advice. One of the words he said was just let me. It was like I forget the exact words, but it was like no matter what you do, just do it 100%, and everything we'll be all right. Like, so he said, if you make a mistake, do it 100 miles an hour. If you do something wrong, just do it as hard as you can, and then make up for it. And that's something that really kind of like felt with me, because I would always like I'd make a mistake, then I'd stunt, I'd stop, I'd get in my head. But he said if you just keep going and you keep going 100 miles an hour, you'll make up for it eventually. So that really stuck with me, and I'd say that one especially.
I like that actually. Going straight at something. I think that happens to a lot of athletes as well. As it's like, oh, you're about to make a big play, this or that, or maybe you like drop the ball or something. You have a wide open touchdown, and then it becomes a whole mental block. But you're right. You just got to play it one play at a time, but do the exact same thing. You did the same thing good the other time. Just catch the ball. Kind of that mentality. I like that a lot actually. Um,
Yeah, he saved me with that a few games. In fact, last game, like when we were down, we almost lost that game, and I put it all on myself because I dropped the ball that would have got us a first. But at the end of the game, I caught the game winning pass. So like, if you really just keep going, you can't go wrong with it.
No, definitely not. And it's one play at a time. At least that's the good thing about football. And like if you're gonna have your mistakes, try and kind of get them out as the game goes on, because it's all about the fourth quarter. Obviously, you got to lead up to it, but it's all about that last drive. Whoever has that first. No, so definitely, I love to hear that from you. Um, just knowing more about you. I know you mentioned anime. You listen to music a lot. Seems like you like to be social and hang out with your friends, your people, maybe even family as well. So, do you have any other like favorite hobbies off the field that we could kind of learn from you? Like, who is Blake Wallace off the field?
Yeah, I honestly I get a lot of weird looks for how I am off the field. Like every day, like even in games, you see me in every game I play, I wear two different socks. Like
Oh,
miss
for real?
Yeah. So it's just like it's a tradition I've done ever since I was young. And yeah, I watch anime, I play video games. Um like that's stuff I really enjoy. Like I'll finish One Piece anime I really like. And that's really who I am outside. I'm like a little kid on the outside of the field, but it's a little strange seeing that on the field wearing two like a kid wearing two mismatched socks running at you 100 miles an hour. It's like what am I looking at here? But that's definitely I'd say I'm a strange individual outside of football. That's what all my friends say at least.
I mean, it's whatever makes you field for the game, right? That makes you stand out already before you even take the field. So we already know what you're capable of on the field, right?
Mm.
So I actually, that's kind of cool. So is it like show socks? Or is it just like different colors? Like what you mean by different pair of socks on one side or the other?
Like I have a drawer that's just full of socks, and it's all mismatched. I just take two. I do not pay attention if they're matching or not, because I could care less as long as they're on my feet. I'm running fast in them. That's all it is.
I love it, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not about all of the gear and the drip. I know that's a big thing about even just sports in general today, as it's about you got to have the right fit, this and that. Just get out there and go.
yeah, honestly, I disagree with that personally. I do not wear no accessories. I wear my pads, I wear my gloves, and I wear my cleats. And you won't see me with no arm sleeves, none of that stuff, and just two mismatched socks. That's the outlier right there.
Just
So
go out there and ball. It's not about what you wear; it's what you do on the field. I love it.
exactly.
Well, that's already one way to show how you stand out to everybody else. But I'll ask you this yourself, because obviously, like I said, when we look Blake Wallace, we look at a guy that has potential, a guy that we know can ball out when we out, a guy that can deliver when you need him most. So, what do you think makes you a great football player? What do you think when you go on the field and you're lined up against somebody, or you're on the defensive side of the ball, you got to take care everything in front and behind you? What do you think makes you a great football player and stand out to everybody else?
I would say it's my like determination. I would say that. Like I do not go down without I don't like the idea of being tackled by one person. I don't like the idea of running out of bounds. I feel like that itself has kept me going. And I feel like that's what really made me an outlier, because like that idea of being tackled by one person, being taken down, like I disagree with that completely. So I feel like if you're gonna tackle me, you need at least three people to bring me down, and if not, and if you don't like get me down, I'm gonna keep running. And I say that would be like the differential maker.
Yeah, always going for extra yards, always pushing for more. So that's how you stand out. And I
Mhm.
think, I mean, that's very clear so far. At least what we can see, paper copy of your resume. That's what you're known for. So definitely would love to see you keep that up. That same grind and energy that you have, man. Going off with that, I want to ask you. You seem you're telling me everyone calls you little odd, this and that. Maybe from just watching anime and stuff, or just being yourself. I mean, which already sounds great. But do you have, maybe it could even be a family member, honestly, family or a close friend, or even an athlete that you kind of want to like model your game after? Like when you were young, you're like, oh, I want to be this guy when I
Oh,
grow up.
I actually took his jersey number. Jarvis Landry was that guy for me. Like he's the one who put me into football. He's the one who put me in, like ever since I was young. I remember one of the first plays I watched was Jarvis Landry versus the Houston Texans, because I'm a Miami fan.
Right.
But I saw him cross the field, break a bunch of tackles, go in, and then go for end zone, and I'm like, wow, what is this sport, and where could I play it? And that's really what started it. So he's really been my inspiration, who I've modeled my game after, like all this time. Him, definitely.
And Jarvis Landry, you got to shout your guy out, man. We got to get Jarvis Landry to come see you play, man.
That'd be a dream come true.
No, I think you're on track to be the next Jarvis Landry, dude. I mean, you've already got everything decked out. And Jarvis Landry was always about the grind too.
Mm-hmm. Like, man, he was just, man. I wish to be like him one day.
Well,
Definitely.
that's the goal then. Of course, I know that for sure. So I'll leave you with one more question, Blake. I want you to obviously go spend the rest of the night, your birthday and whatnot. One more big question I want to ask you. Um, Advice in a way, actually, to just athletes or people that have the dreams of playing college football and possibly making it to the NFL. But you're in a position today where your senior year just started. There's so much potential as a player, and you know that, but it's all about the grind and the work. And the year just started, so there's a lot to prove, a lot to go higher with. And currently being the player you are, you have all these offers. So what advice do you have to give to the younger athletes who like want to be in this position one day? They want the opportunity to go play college football and then even have a chance of even looking at the National Football League. Like what would you say to them that want to be maybe the next Blake Wallace?
I would say don't let anything stop you. Like, don't let where you're from, do not let where you start from ever stop you from trying to make your dreams come true. Because like my school wasn't really known for football for a very long time. Spanish River has been bad for a very long time before like Coach Headley came in and helped like light this place up. In fact we had our best season in 20 years since like last year. So it doesn't matter what predicament you're in. Like we started 1-9, and now we're on an up till we're aiming for 10-0. So it doesn't matter what predicament you're in. It doesn't matter where you're from. If you really just put your mind to it, you could really make those dreams come true. And I would let nobody ever tell me that I can't.
All right, you heard it right here. Blake Wallace, athlete from Spanish River High. Blake, I wish you a great rest of your season. I'm excited, man, to see where you end up after high school, but even just this season, how you turn around Spanish River.
Thank you. And thank you for having me.
Of course, man. It was a pleasure having you on, man. We'll definitely try and do this again soon.
All right, say less.
All right. Well, first and foremost, if you're heading out right now, make sure you hit the subscribe button to Sports Talk with Krish on the road to 2,000 subscribers. You want to check us out, our Instagram or TikTok, we are at Sports Talk with Krish, or Twitter/X, Krish Verma _3. If you want to check out Blake Wallace on Instagram, he is Blake Wallace 14. And with that being said, Blake, once again, thank you for coming on, and we'll see you all in our next episode.
Thank you for having me. Goodbye.